Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. That wasn't clickbait. My account is down. It's been deactivated. It's been like a month, which is why I haven't really posted anything in a while. I basically wanted to tell you everything that happened from the beginning until now. My account is still down. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it back with the help of my attorneys next week, maybe hopefully by July. I mean, I don't know. It's so ridiculous and it's so aggravating because it's out of your control completely, you know. That's one of the things about Amazon is that, you know, it could be great, but when it's bad, I mean, it's super bad. So let me tell you how everything started. I ended up with an inauthentic complaint from it. Basically, you know, the problem with these inauthentic complaints is that they can come from customers. And so a customer can either make a malicious statement or comment, or even one that's innocent, and you're still screwed. So let me tell you how everything started from the very beginning. It started with a Nike product, just a simple one of those winter, hoods that go over your head and stuff. And a customer returned it, and they put in the comments, because you can leave comments there, they put in the comments that the style was different, or the fabric was different, or they thought, or whatever. And then they said, I think this is counterfeit. And then all of a sudden, all the alarms and bells and whistles went off at Amazon. All the red flags were thrown up, and that item was deactivated. The item itself only, the ASIN, was shut down. And now, of course, I have to prove that this product is authentic, because when it comes to Amazon, you're guilty until proven innocent. So usually these are no big deal. I mean, they happen. You submit the documents maybe once, twice, 3 times, but eventually, it gets cleared up and it's not a non-issue, which has happened to me a ton of times. So I submit the documents. They don't accept it. They want, and I've been calling, and usually when you call seller support, it's obvious that they're handed a script that says you can say this and you cannot say this. So there's certain things that they won't say. Sometimes they're not supposed to tell you why your documents were not accepted. Sometimes they will. It depends who you get on the phone. At first I was told, one guy said, that I need to highlight the item itself or whatever. And then that was declined. And then another guy said to print it and take a photo, and that was declined. Then another guy said to take a screenshot of the order, and that was declined. So I was just getting, all these things. So then I went to my bigger guns. I went to my level 2, and if you've seen my other video about how to fight these, I sent my appeal to all these super ultra mega top secret upper level G14 classified emails at Amazon, like 15 of them. And now you're talking about, this has been over a month already trying to clear this up. So because with these complaints, if you ignore it, they'll continue to come after you. So you have to clear these up. So I get a response. I get 2 responses, actually. One of them was from their appeals, whatever, Amazon appeals. And it said, you can continue to sell, because they were talking about shutting me down for selling Nike products across the board. So then I get an email that says, you can continue to sell Nike products. So that was cleared up. Then I got another email that says, you can continue to sell this specific ASIN. So I was like, oh, finally, I'm golden, right? So then it said, it should be removed. It should be available in 24 hours. So I waited like 48 hours. And it's still on my performance, or on my account health. It's still showing on my account health. It hasn't been released. And I was just going to delete it anyway, because I only had like 4 or 5 of them left. And I was just like, I don't really want to deal with it anymore. But it never got cleared for my account health. So I'm like, well, this should be easy. So I just submit the 2 emails that I received, and I get the auto response again, insufficient documentation. So I called again, and the guy I get on the phone is argumentative with me right away, and he's trying to say, oh, well, the documents you submitted are insufficient. And I said, well, sir, that's irrelevant, because I received an email from the appeals, Amazon appeals, saying that I can continue to sell this ASIN, and they can see the things I've submitted. So I told him, I said, look, you can see what I've submitted. And he says, yeah, but it says here it's insufficient. I said, okay, well, I said, listen, we're going back and forth. And I said, listen, I'm not trying to be rude. You're not understanding what I'm saying, which is totally fine, but I do need to speak to a supervisor, or I need to speak to someone else. No, I can help you. I said, well, sir, with all due respect, no, you can't, because we've been going back and forth here, and you're just repeating yourself now, and I need to speak to someone else. What I should have done was I should have said, okay, thank you, and called back, but I didn't, because I'm already aggravated that it's just I'm talking to an NPC here, and he just isn't understanding me, right? And refuses to put a supervisor or someone else on the phone. So I said, I don't know why you're refusing to put someone else on the phone, but I've had it with this. I'm done with you guys, and I hang up, right? Then Amazon sends, and I'm still stewing, right? I'm sitting at home. I'm like, I can't believe these people. And they automatically send you that email that says, to rate how your call went. Oh, I couldn't wait. I went right to 1 star. I typed out the whole thing about what happened and how they wouldn't accept this and how they wouldn't put a supervisor on the line. And I promise you, 48 hours later, my account was deactivated. So, coincidence? No, I don't think so. So now I'm really screwed. So I continue to submit these documents. It's not working. I keep getting auto responses. Now it's time to call in the lawyers. So I call in the lawyers, and let me tell you, the reason they said that they deactivated my account was because they said I submitted forged or altered documents. I'm just like, even now you can look at me, I'm speechless, right? Like, what could possibly be forged or altered? So, I send this to my lawyer. We submit some documents, and I still continue to call Amazon once in a while to see if I can get any information out of them. When your account is deactivated like this, they give you 2 options. The first option is to continue to submit documents and fight this case and all this other stuff and try to get it cleared up. The second option is to admit guilt, okay? And we all know Amazon lies right to your face. They don't follow their own policies, and they cannot be trusted, okay? So, but now, now my account is down, and I'm flipping out. I'm losing thousands of dollars per day. So, I kind of asked my lawyer, I'm like, listen, because we submitted documents a few times, we weren't getting anywhere. Then I asked my lawyer, I'm like, listen, what if let me back up. I asked Amazon first. I got someone on the phone who seemed pretty decent. I said, listen, what if I told her before that, I told her everything that happened. And I said, please, look, you can see the email. And even the words wouldn't come out of her mouth, but when she read the emails that I had received and saw that I had been deactivated anyways, she just goes, huh. And I'm like, I knew it, So anyways, I asked her, I said, listen, there's another option here to admit guilt. I mean, is this a trap of some kind? Like, am I going to be, are they going to say, oh, we knew it, we got you? Or are they going to say, okay, well, you're on some kind of probation, or is my account going to be under scrutiny for the rest of my life? I'm like, what happens here? And she tells me nothing happens. She says if you admit guilt and, you go through the steps, that you'll get your account back. And I'm like, I don't believe her, right? Either, she doesn't know. She obviously, they just read from their script, right? So I tell the lawyer what they said. I'm like, listen, man, I can't take this anymore. Like, I'm at home all these days. I'm pacing back and forth. I'm incessantly refreshing my emails, looking for answers that aren't there. I keep opening my Amazon account, hoping that somehow magically it'll be reactivated. It's like when you're hungry and you keep opening the refrigerator. There's nothing new in there. You just keep opening it anyways. Who knows why we do that? So I asked the lawyer, I tell him what she said, and he said that they've had experience with that, and like everything else with Amazon, it's inconsistent. Some very few people do get their accounts back, and he's like, some people don't. And I'm like, man, I can't believe it, So we continue to submit documents, and I told him, I said, listen, man, let's go back. Let's look at I said, because we've made so many submissions by now, over 20 submissions. I'm like, let's look back through every single thing we've submitted. Let's read it word for word. Let's scrutinize it. Let's see what's happening here. So I actually found several inconsistencies in the things I submitted. Now, mind you, I've submitted photographs of printed documents. I've submitted screenshots. I've submitted PDF files. I've submitted scans and PDFs of scans. I've submitted emails from the supplier, saying that our stuff is authentic. I've just submitted all these things. So I did over time. Now we're like on 3 months of fighting with this thing, right? So I did find some things that were inconsistent. One was my phone number. Somehow the supplier had a phone number that was not mine. And I thought, okay, well, maybe that's an issue, because Amazon, their exact words are, for privacy purposes, we do not tell you why your documents were not accepted. And it's like, okay, well, whose privacy? Whose privacy are you talking about? I'm the accused here, and of course they won't have an answer. So that was one thing, and the lawyer's like, generally that's not an issue, a non-issue. And the other thing was that because so much time has passed, the title for the product itself on Amazon has changed. So it used to say, and I'll just tell you what it is because it doesn't make a difference. I'm never going to sell it again anyhow. But it used to be called like Nike Thermosphere Hood 3.0, something to that effect, very simple. And now it says Nike Running Hood Baklava, all these like 7 other words are on the title of this product now. So then I brought that up, and I'm like, well, maybe, because it did match at least at one time, and now it doesn't. Maybe that's the issue. So that was 2 things. The other thing was that I submitted, when they told me to highlight the product, even the lawyer said sometimes they consider that altering the product. So Amazon will tell you to highlight an item and you've altered it, which they'll use against you. They also tell you that you can remove pricing, but that's altering the document also. So, it's like Amazon is constantly trying to entrap you, and then when you call them out on it, they act like they don't know what you're talking about. So that was an issue. So we submitted an additional appeal with all these things listed, saying, okay, well, these are some differences that we've identified, and perhaps this could be the issue. And he's like, because you did highlight the product, he's like, we could try to admit guilt and see if that works. So I click on, I admit, I'm sorry, I submitted an altered document because I highlighted whatever. And so you have to check all these boxes. Yes, I read the Amazon policy. No, I won't do it again. No, yes, whatever. There's like 5 things. So you check all those boxes and then you hit submit. And now I'm just staring at my screen, like waiting to see what happens. And I hit refresh and nothing happens. And then I hit refresh again. And then all of a sudden I noticed that the from my account health, the inauthentic complaint itself is gone. Okay, it's gone, it's not there. But my account's still deactivated. So then I'm like, all right, well, now I don't, because it doesn't give you the option to submit any documents. So then I'm like, all right, well, up at the top it says, reactivate your account. So I click reactivate my account. And then it's kind of the same thing about admitting guilt. So I do that. And then it gives you the option to submit documents. So I submit the documents. I submit the actual appeal stating, okay, these are the issues that we've identified that might have caused this to happen, and how we're going to not do it again, ever again, blah, blah, blah. Please forgive me, Amazon. Please forgive me, Amazon. And I submit it. Insufficient documentation. Again. And now I did, and throughout this, I've done case logs, which were ignored. I've sent other emails, and gotten no responses. And when I submit through the performance management under reactivate my account, it's just keep getting, you've submitted insufficient documents. You've submitted insufficient documents, and every time I call, they're just reading from the script. Oh well, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, and one person insisted on reading to me, what my documentation should include. I'm like, I know what it should include. And they're like, no, let me read it to you. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's there. Yep, that's there too. Yep, that's there too. All that's there. Oh, well, send it again. So, as of right now, my account is still shut down. I will let you know if it becomes permanent. And if it does, it'll be the last video I post on YouTube too, by the way. So, as of right now, it's still down. I did submit an appeal like last week. I got no response whatsoever. The other thing that did come about last week was that it's kind of hard to explain if it hasn't happened to you before, but if you get an inauthentic complaint on an item and you clear it up, Amazon does not release your product right away in a lot of cases. So what they'll do is they'll put all your products aside, and then a separate entity within Amazon will email you, and it's like inventory appeals or something like that, and they want you to prove to them that your product's authentic again, but it's separate from your complaint has been removed from your account. Your account's free and clear as far as they're concerned. But if you want your products back, you have to submit this documentation to these people now. So it's literally double jeopardy. You're being tried again for the same thing. Instead of them just looking over here, instead of them just turning their head from here to here and saying, oh yeah, he submitted those documents and they were already accepted, so we'll release his product. No, you got to do it all over again. And they could reject it, which did happen to me. So with a different product. So I even wrote them a nasty email back saying, hey, listen, you want to steal my products? Just steal it. Don't put me through this. I don't care anymore. You will not accept the documents, even though Amazon over here accepted the documents. You won't accept them, so do whatever you want. I don't care. So, because as you can tell, I'm losing my patience with Amazon. So I got that with this Nike hood. And I'm like, wouldn't it be hilarious if I submit the same exact documentation that I've been submitting over here this whole time, if I submit it over here and they accept it? Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened. I submitted those documents and they're like, okay, we decided they're authentic, so we're going to release it. But my account's still shut down. So, I send that to the lawyer, and I mean, it's one more little tiny piece of evidence that we can use. I mean, I have 2 emails and this now, all from Amazon themselves, saying that I should be cleared, but they still won't reactivate my account. So I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I tell the final step the final step is for my attorneys to submit this huge packet with everything to Amazon's legal team. Like, they have a legal team for these deactivated accounts. And it could take weeks. It will take weeks until they get to it. And then they make a final lifetime decision about my account. And it's either going to be yes or no. And that will be it. If they say no, I'm done. No more appeals, no more emails, no more Amazon account. It's gone for life. If they say yes, everyone will act like it never happened. So that's the next and final step. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll definitely let you know. You know, I've been selling on Amazon for over 5 years, and I'll tell you what I've learned the most is that it is very much out of your control. No matter how much you think that you have your account under control, it takes one person, one customer to make one comment and you're screwed. And it should never, ever be that easy. Never. But it is. And if Amazon really cared about counterfeit products being sold on their platform, instead of making me guilty until proven innocent and making me jump through all these hoops, you know what they should say? They should take the product and get a rep that from Nike and every other major brand, a rep to rep Amazon, and say, Amazon can say, hey, this guy got an inauthentic complaint on this product. Can you tell if it's authentic or not? Those people that work in that capacity at Nike, they could look across the room and spot something that's inauthentic from Nike or Adidas or whatever the product is. They know it. They can spot it a mile away if it's authentic or not. And if Amazon really cared, they would say, hey, Nike, is this thing real? And Nike would say, yes, it is. And that would be the end of it. Because what does it matter where I got it from? Honestly, I've been showing them all day long where the products came from. They came from an authorized Nike dealer, but they don't care. They don't care about that. So if they really cared about these products, it really wouldn't matter where it came from. It would only matter if it's authentic or not. That's it. So, you know, the other thing I try to tell people is that it's like selling things on Amazon. This is the example I use about selling things on Amazon. Let's say, for example, you know, you can't sell apples on Amazon, but let's say, for example, I got this awesome apple distributor and I get these apples for 1 cent and I sell them for $5 and I make $2 on every apple I sell on Amazon. And I've been selling these apples and I have, you know, all this documentation and for months, maybe even a year, and someone buys one of my apples and they're like, this apple's different than the apple I got last week. I think it's a fake apple. And they return it. And Amazon says, that guy says you're selling fake apples. Prove it. Prove what? Prove that those are apples. How should I do that? You know, they're like, oh, well, we think they're oranges. You can't sell oranges on Amazon, so we're shutting down your listing. They're not oranges, they're apples. Prove it. Okay. Oranges are orange and these are not orange. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. You gotta prove with documentation. Okay, here's the apple farmer and here's a picture of the apple tree, and I pulled an apple from the tree and it's right here. No, that's not good enough. Okay, I got these scientists to compare apples and oranges, and here's the reports that cost me $3,000 to do, and can I sell them now? Oh, well, yeah, you can sell them now, but we're going to hold your inventory because we still think it's inauthentic, so sorry. It's just so ridiculous. You can't win in a lot of cases. Most of the time, the thing is, most of the time people do get through these most of the time, but there's that percentage like me, that it just, that you feel like you're targeted, and I guarantee you, because I got pissed off at that one guy at Seller Central, and because I left a bad feedback, or negative, not negative feedback, but 1-star review. I guarantee, because it's not a coincidence that 48 hours later my account was shut down for something so ridiculous. So I'm done rambling. I'm obviously very upset about it, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't get my account back. I mean, I'm gonna be done with Amazon. I know that. The aggravating thing is that you're trying to be an entrepreneur here, and you're trying to, do a business and make a living, and make your life a little bit easier, by having a little extra money. And Amazon doesn't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care who you are, what you say. They don't care about the truth, obviously. So, that's the worst part about Amazon, is that it's completely out of your control. Completely. If it was your own business and not Amazon, it'd be better, right? If it was J-WACK Incorporated, I control it, everything. But, when you deal with, when you're working through a third party like Amazon, it's so much out of your control. So, like I said, I'll let you know what happens. I'm haven't been sleeping. Like I said, I'm incessantly refreshing my screen and checking my emails every 5 seconds, and hoping for the heavens to open, and I can sell on Amazon again. But even if that happens, man, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna be like, dreading the day that another IP complaint or inauthentic complaint or something comes down the pipeline. I'll just start freaking out, because it could just lead to all this all over again. Like I got PTSD now from Amazon. So thanks for checking out my video. I will update you all with the final result, and wish me luck. Thanks.